Welcome back to Lancer. We have done it. We have finally updated to the 1.6 beta version of Lancer, the RPG system. This is a system done by Miguel Lopez and Tom Parkinson-Morgan. Thank you to those guys for the cool rules. We're going to have fun playing with them. And to address some questions, just switching between the two, we are going to continue the same story. We are going to continue the same characters. I've sat down with everyone here, and we've gone through the process of updating and adapting their characters to the new system. We're going to largely just hit the ground running and start with all the 1.6 stuff immediately. We're not going to bother to worry about the continuity of the difference between getting your new mech at rank 2 versus rank 1 and all that. We're just going full in on 1.6.
We're going to be relearning as we go.
Yeah, we're going to be relearning some of the systems.
It's only been like 6 months.
Yeah, it's been a while since we recorded too, because we weren't sure when if we were going to keep doing it and all that kind of stuff. But we like it a lot, so we're going to keep doing it. Just as a recap, where we left off for our pilot's last episode, our team here, Merlin, Jay, Gearhead, Cody, and Junker, Todd, they all embarked on a mission to the desert world of Ammo Colossi. They touched down, they navigated their way through some sandstorm, found the salvage team they were meant to meet up with, at the same time as a sandworm found that same salvaging team. They beat the shit out of a sandworm. Cody rode on top of it a little bit.
Yeah, I did.
The fun about that. yeah, right?
Yeah.
Those are the fun things.
It's like the only thing I remember.
And then they helped the salvage team actually start to lift the derelict ship out of the sand. During the course of our investigations last episode, the party found out this isn't a run-of-the-mill transport, this was a prison ship, and it is possible that the cargo they were sent here for are high-value prisoners that were on board this ship when it crashed. And we've just gotten to the point where the pilots have pulled their mechs into the cargo bay of said crash derelict, and are in the process of dismounting to head in on foot to check out and see what's in there. Is there anything else you guys want to do some cleanup for or get out of the way before we jump into the action?
Yeah, my room could use some cleaning. Anybody want to help? It's a bit messy.
I don't have the time.
I started, and then I was like, I gotta go to sleep.
I think it needs to be said.
Somewhere over there.
There's no room.
He just spread eagles and falls on top of the bed?
Extra cushioning.
It's
right?
a bed, yeah,
Okay.
it's a bed.
Alright. I think it needs to be said that Squish Kitty over here is better than Moo Cow on Todd's.
That is false.
I have
It
Finn
is-
and
Look at
Jake
this guy.
somewhere.
Look at Squish Kitty. Do you think
could
Squish
not
Kitty
love
gives a
this.
fuck?
Dude,
His face.
yeah, you know what? I have not one, but 4 different box-constructed anime girls. So there we go. 1, 2, 3,
Are those the Ruby girls?
4. Yeah, those are the 4 Ruby.
Yeah.
I think
here's
people
Finn.
want to watch us play Lancer, maybe not talk
Probably.
about the
No,
shit.
there's Finn. Hold on.
I thought we were going to do show and
Alright,
tell with our
This is
toys.
the show and
this
tell
is-
episode.
yeah.
This is Lancer between the games.
Okay, everyone watching right now, if you think Squish Kitty wins, like, comment, and subscribe. And if you think the
I
Ruby girls
also-
win, then like, comment, and subscribe. And if you
I
think
also
that the cow
have-
wins,
All of Laser
Like
Team
comments.
as well.
And I'm not
if
even gonna
anybody
mention
likes
Cody.
Laser Team.
He doesn't win
Thanks.
anything.
All right.
Thank you.
All right, so let's dive into the action, guys. Mostly to move us along here. Okay, so the last things I remember were that you guys had disembarked. You're in the cargo area. You've checked out. There are pathways ahead of you, but you haven't actually delved into the ship yet. So I'm gonna go ahead and turn it over to the pilots at this point. What do you guys want to do?
Quick question: were some of us splitting up last time? I can't recall.
Yes. At that point, some of you had decided you wanted to go in different ways. For the purposes of starting here, we'll say that you guys are in the cargo area right now. If you guys want to change anything before you continue onward, decide what you want to do now.
We were splitting because there were 3 different ways to go, right?
There were a bunch of different ways to go.
Okay.
This ship is like maze-like in its complexity.
And we're here to protect the salvage team. What is the salvage team looking for? They didn't tell us, did
Prisoners.
So they never even expected you to come into the ship with them originally. The job, you guys weren't ever
need
told
them.
what was.
Fuck,
Yeah,
I'm
well,
done.
you could if you want. The job originally was to come here and do some like escort while they were doing the salvage. And they had their own teams that were going to do the salvaging. That's why you guys weren't told what was going on. If you'll remember from before, Vladimir, your operator, was actually upset that he wasn't given more information before the operation started. He was
Vladimir's
upset
a little bit of a crybaby, though.
yeah, a little bit. He was upset that you guys weren't given the full details of the mission. You guys discovered by, well, actually, I think it was Jay who persuaded Amelia Garnett, who was the head salvager of the salvager team, to kind of like divulge what's actually going on. And that's when she revealed this is actually a prisoner transport, and there might be some high-value targets on board still alive that they wanted to extract. So the salvage team, now that you know this, you look at them again and you realize, okay, those guys are all like environmental suits and they have, like workman attire. And then you realize the vast difference between those people and the people who are entering with you, who have breach charges and weaponry and military gear. It seems like they weren't telling you anything. Everything, that is. They told you some things.
Well,
so.
I mean, why?
Determined.
What I don't get is why this is even a concern. Because if we're going through a prison transport on a crashed, deserty, harsh environment, like, what do they expect to do? Kill us all and then just be stuck here?
I don't know.
Maybe take
well,
over their ship.
Maybe we'll find out.
I don't know.
So let's what do you
Maybe
guys
you'll
want?
find out.
This time on
Maybe
Dragon
I will
Ball
find
Z.
out.
All right, I'm gonna take a group of people and go with them then.
Okay, so
I'm,
you're gonna pick up a few of the.
Yeah.
You're gonna go with one of the salvage
Yeah.
teams. Okay.
I'm just following them, I guess.
I'm gonna make Junker go with me a different way.
Junker's like,
Because he doesn't know
fine.
what he's doing. So,
Okay.
and obviously, me being the most attractive and smart person should lead the way
Yeah.
to Junker's inferiority. So,
Yeah, I mean that's how that works, right?
Yeah.
Are we taking any of the team with us? We probably should take a few guys, right?
So there's I'm gonna
yeah.
say
So
I'm gonna say there's 3 teams going in different directions. Jay's going with one of those teams. And
Yeah,
then-
I'm gonna suggest that guy. I'm gonna point at the guy with the most explosives.
Okay.
That he doesn't go with us.
Okay. All right. You're gonna leave the explosive guy to head his own.
He can
team
go
off.
with Merlin. He can just get out of here.
And then
Alright.
what do we have for? I mean, they gave us weapons or something, right?
So we talked about this at the end of the last episode. You guys are all allowed to have a personal weapon, but some
Yeah.
of you were adamant that you did not have a personal weapon. But we just did change to the 1.6 rules, so if anyone wants to change their minds about what you took with them, now would be the option.
So-
I have.
I mean, I would ask them
blue
for a
gun.
rifle if they had an extra one.
They won't have an extra one, but they do have a stun rifle.
You just kill the one guy and take his rifle.
Well, what I was going to say is if you're insistent on it, like you're not in the same rank structure as they are, but you're important enough that they wouldn't say no to you if you were very insistent. So if you want one of their stun rifles, one of them will just have to use their sidearm instead.
I'll do that.
I have
Okay.
a non-lethal rifle on me. This was in my inventory already.
Okay.
Yeah, I have a glue gun in my inventory. I'm just gonna glue people.
Okay.
So-
So yes.
Yeah, I think Colton's gonna go up to that team that we're with, and he's gonna be like, "Who's in charge of this team?"
Which one? There's like 3 groups splitting off.
Whichever team that Gearhead went towards. Did you go towards one?
Or
yeah,
were you going on your
the
own?
one? Oh well. I'm. She's gonna make Junker go with her, but she wants other people too.
Okay.
So that way there can be a human shield in
So
front of her.
like, there's 3 teams. So let's just say we go to one of the teams, and
The
we're
team with the least amount of explosives.
we're gonna tag along with that
Right,
team.
that's what you said. All right,
Um,
so luckily I set aside a bunch of random salvager names just in case you randomly asked what one of the salvagers'
Yay.
names was. So I'm gonna say,
Hey, come on, behind the veil, man. Shit.
You know what? I'm gonna part the kimono here and let you guys.
Part
see
the
Oh,
what
kimono.
please don't! I don't want to see that.
That is disturbing.
I have
we
not
already
taken up
saw
Turn of
Jays,
phrase right
so.
Yep, it is. It's a very problematic turn of phrase. So the salvager who is in charge of the team that Gearhead and Junker are with is named Sang Bertrand.
What a shit name she says
So-
out loud.
I'll say forgive us. She's a little. She kind of says what's on her mind. But so you're in charge. What is your objective? Are you trying to extract a target, a prisoner?
So he's like helping his guys like get all their, because they were in environmental suits still to get at.
Yeah.
So he's helping everyone get their environmental suits off, get into their more like inside the ship kind of like almost like SWAT gear would look like. That's what they're going in with. And as he's helping his team get armed up, he's like, well, what we were told is to go in, find if there was anyone left alive, and if there is, we are to subdue them and extract them.
Do you have a navigator on your team? Anyone with a map or blueprint of the ship?
We do not.
All right, so we're just kind of freeballing it here. I'm
Yeah.
game.
This ship was high enough on security that they don't give out the schematics for prisoner ships in case someone gets a hold of them and tries to plan a breakout.
Well, they should just have fake blueprints on the ship, and then have the
Yeah.
real ones off ship.
You mean that
Sang
the
will
other way
take that
around?
into consideration.
Yeah, that'd be
is there a
smart.
terminal we can access to try to hack?
So you look around the room. Now you're in a cargo room right now. There is a terminal on the side wall that seems to be for the use of like the ceiling crane for moving like cargo boxes and stuff. If you want, you can go interface with that terminal.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that.
Okay. Very quickly, you will see that power has been cut off to this area, and the terminal just does not turn on at all. It is you try to cycle it, and just nothing comes into it.
All right.
So, Alannah's gonna say, I already don't remember your name, but let's go find whatever you're looking for.
All right. So, Junker, Gearhead, and Sang's team will depart down one of the corridors. Merlin, what are you doing?
I'm gonna follow my team down a different one and
All
ask.
right. So,
I'll offhandedly ask who's in charge as
all
well.
right. Shannon Gross. That is the leader of the team you are a part of.
You just hear Alannah in the background go, "Ha!" laughing at that last
Is
name.
Shannon gross?
Yeah, exactly. That's why she laughs.
I think everyone has their high points, and I think it would be inappropriate of me. And no, she's pretty okay. So yeah, you are on. So it sounds like Gearhead and Junker are kind of like taking the lead on their team. Is that right? Kind of like
No.
leading from the front, or so.
No,
you pick the direction.
Her group is our human shield.
Okay, so
specifically.
you're sending them in ahead and sweeping in behind them.
I'll
Is that what I'm
I'll
hearing
have
then?
gear.
Okay.
I'll tell Gearhead you take the rear. I'll go in front with the rest of the team.
Okay.
So we both kind of have eyes on the front and like both flanks.
Damn right.
And then Merlin, what's your operational kind of priorities with your team? Merlin?
I don't think I have any. Just going with them right now.
So are you just like following them then?
In like the middle of them, yeah.
Okay, you're just with the group. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, delving into the ship, your pilots start to have to contend with the difficulties of navigating this mess that the ship's become. Not only is it a prison ship that is built specifically to be maze-like and difficult to navigate, but also it is just really screwed up from the crash. There are bulkheads and doors that are sometimes missing, broken, or obstructed by wreckage. Sometimes just a collapsed hallway or folding of different bulkheads have completely blocked off sections of the ship. Some doors, as well as Merlin noticed in the cargo bay, have locked via failsafe when the power went out. So there are some doors that are kind of locked, and there's no terminal to actually open them back up on. So you guys, the inside of the ship, it's very segmented, has long corridors, full-length window segments in some of them. There are security booths at many of the doorways. The walls are flat, nearly featureless, and the inside of the ship, like I said, it's monotonous by design, and it's easy to get turned around here. So what are you guys doing to kind of contend with the difficulties here?
So, one of Junker's fields is starships, piloting and maintenance. So, in particular, maintenance.
Convenient.
Very convenient. So, can Junker sort of like go ahead and like when they encounter some sort of obstacle, he could say something kind of mechanical, like, "Oh, that's a faulty alternator, crossbars."
Oh, you know what? You know who else can do that? Me. Because I also have starship mechanics, okay?
So come over here, Gearhead. Take a look at
it's
this.
funny.
Yeah.
Your two, like, starship knowledge people went the same way as each other. You're
Yeah,
like,
obviously.
Yeah, we know all of this shit.
So
Yeah.
like maybe you know, if we encounter like some twisted passageway, we could say, well, look, see that air duct here? That means we're
Yeah, that's the internal
this section.
Skookum
Wait, the air
flabbergaster.
what?
Yeah.
The air what, Todd?
air duct.
Okay.
Air
No,
duct.
he meant
I
the
thought-
air actually physically ducks
Yeah.
you when you walk by.
I was worried that you had wandered by a air elemental quack.
Well, in a dungeon, I hope not.
Well, one can only hope. I think that would be great.
I'm going to go ahead and
Got
say...
an idea for a new monster in D&D later.
Yeah, man, an air elemental duck? Fuck, shit, that'd be horrible. So, Todd, you're leading the way here.
Horse-sized.
Cody, you this wouldn't be lost on you. You're not just gonna be here and not contributing. So,
Damn
Todd,
right.
you have additional advantage because of two things. One is because Cody can kind of already give you some extra info on starships, including like maintenance and you know, mechanics of starships.
Yeah.
So that's kind of covered by her already. I'm going to let you use your field of criminal. You haven't been unlucky enough to be on the wrong end of this kind of ship thus far, but you have been in places like this. In fact, before you were recruited to the pilot program, you were incarcerated for a while.
Yeah.
So
That's right.
go ahead and roll me a pilot skill check and make that with advantage because of Cody's help and your extra background.
Okay.
These are the people Merlin has
Two
on his
advantage.
team.
I'm sorry. So
Yeah,
roll with your double
Plus
advantage.
2d6.
2 advantage.
15. That's not bad.
and-
All right, nice.
Okay, yeah, 15.
And the advantage is what made the difference there because you rolled a 9 and both your advantage rolls were 6, so we got to bump you up to a 15 there.
Yep.
So I'm going to say because you guys are specifically kind of like the techies of the group, and you understand the ship not so much in the ergonomic, like, people travel through this kind of way, but like here's where the systems would need to be on this ship.
Yeah, it's
I'm
like
gonna
I've
say
seen
that-
blueprints of this of ships like this before, so I kind of have an innate sense of where
Yeah,
we need
even
to
if-
go. Maybe.
Even if they didn't have like the prisoner areas on it, you're like, okay, well, this would have to be over this way. I'm gonna say that you guys find yourselves in a room. You guys make your way down into the bowels of the ship a little bit, and you're like, now, if you're right, something's got to be off in one direction. You find yourselves in a room that's like an elongated rectangle, like a very wide hallway. There's a large glass pane on the right, looking into some sort of large room that's pitch black. The room you're in, this wide rectangular room, is filled with machinery. And surprisingly, it isn't all dead. In this dark room, there is one console that is turned on. It is currently displaying the power usage of the ship by segment and the current remaining power available without restarting the reactor.
Oh, I have information systems as one of my fields.
Okay, so I'm gonna assume you wanna go over and check out this terminal.
Yeah, she's gonna clickety clack on that old keyboard over there.
Pushing other people out of the way.
Yeah, like, get out of here! You know nothing!
So there's a couple of things you can find on here. As you examine the console, you're able to determine that there is one area of the ship that is still drawing a trickle of power from the reactor.
I'm going to assume it's the brig.
Yeah, it's coming from an area that's like very
ship is
interior.
Well, it can't be. I didn't see cells on the way in.
At the current rate of use, you determine that based on what's left in the power buffer and the amount of draw that area is using, the power would last for maybe another week if the reactor isn't restarted.
Okay, I don't know how accurate this would be to the time period. I'm gonna CB Merlin. We got a situation over here. I think we found where the prisoners are. Over.
Oh, okay. Why are you talking like that?
Yeah, we found, maybe, got like a week of power until that gets depowered.
Well, where are they?
While they're talking, real quick, Junker's gonna go over to that glass and sort of like put his like hands around his
tap
eyes
on it
and to block out the light and sort of look through the glass. You said it was dark on the other side, so he's trying to peer in and see if he could see anything.
Do you have any specific gear that's like a source of light, or would you just have what's like default available to you?
Yeah, he's just trying to block out the light around his eyes and see if he could see through the glass.
So you look into the dark room and there's something big in there. It looks like a very large room, but it's so dark you just can tell there's a large object in the room, but you don't know what it is. It looks like it's a single room dedicated to housing a single large object.
In a game that has mechs in it,
I wonder what
what could it
Lights
be?
turn on, mech aims at you. All right, let's roll some new characters in 1.6.
All right. Well, sorry I interrupted. You guys keep talking. I'm just doing that
interrupting
at the same
Todd.
time.
Jesus. I will consult the console for a more specific, dive into it and be like, okay, it's in sector blah blah blah, and then that's where I'll tell Merlin it is.
All right, so to get that extra information, because you're not familiar with this system,
I shall roll.
Yes, I'm going to have you roll a pilot check, and because of your ability with systems, information systems, I'm going to let you roll this with accuracy.
And I rolled a 15.
Nice, another 15, so that's a 12 plus an accuracy of +3.
Yep.
So not quite a crit, but good. You still get a success here. So delving into the information you have there, you're able to download a partial schematic for the ship based off of just like the power schematic, like where power goes in the ship. It won't be directly like room by room. It's not like you're gonna have like a Zelda map that shows all the rooms in the dungeon. It's more like you can see where all the power routes in the ship.
You say that, but one of my other fields is electronics, invention, and improvisation, so I can probably make a full map just out of the electric schematic.
You can definitely try.
I'm gonna try. Yeah,
okay.
I'm gonna try.
And then you know what? you're not going to have to make a roll for this. It's just going to take you time to do.
Oh, okay. I was prepared to roll.
Yeah, no, you're good here. This isn't something that you could fail, because this is just something you know how to do, and there's not a consequence that would happen if you fail the roll. So I'm just going to let you do it through time.
Cool.
Merlin,
and I'll send that to Merlin when it's complete.
So, do you guys have any specific mission gear that allows you to transmit visual information?
Does the Omni hook do that?
Who in the group has Omni hooks?
I have one.
I think it's just you two.
I
Yeah, I
have
don't-
one. Also, I have a personal drone. Does that send back video, like a video
Your
feed?
personal drone sends video back to you. Yes.
Okay, so that can also be used, at least for me.
Mhm.
Okay. Why do you ask though? Is there like, can we transmit that back to Merlin, or?
That's the thing, is if Gearhead wants to transmit that data to Merlin's team, he would need some way of transmitting that information.
Can we use Omni hook to do that? Or is that just audio?
It's like he would have to have something that would receive that information on his end. Do you have anything, Jay?
Did I specifically say transmit? I think I just said send, right? So
You did say send.
I'm gonna make a thing, give it to a guy in our group, and say go find them.
Okay, sure.
You can use the thing I just found. It's a map.
It's
the
a
thing
map.
I
Okay.
made. Here
So
you go.
so each of you is with a team of 6. Do you want to just strip off one guy?
I was gonna
go
ask
send
that.
info?
I don't want to strip him down. No, that's weird. I want to send
Okay.
him away.
So good. I'm glad you left him with dignity.
Some naked dude comes running up to us.
Quick!
Yeah. Just hands you a fucking flash drive.
I don't know why I
So do you
did it. She
wanna
was
just
really
send-
hot.
Do you want to just send the one dude then?
Yeah, one guy's fine.
One guy.
Hold
I'm
on.
sure a
Jun-
xenomorph won't
Junker's
show
gonna,
up.
if he sees this happening, he's gonna be like, "Wait, just a moment." So you're sending a guy to run back to Merlin, so you can give him a map that tells him how to get here. If you're sending
Not to us.
if you're sending
It's
a
just
guy,
map of
why
a
not?
ship.
Why not just tell the guy how to get here? Like, have the guy tell Merlin how to get here.
Because he's not getting here, he's getting there, and we have 2 copies of the map. Well, what if he's closer? I don't know.
Okay.
You're
guess
too busy looking through glass to even know what's going on.
He turns around after looking through the glass. He's like, "Hey, why are you doing that thing back there?"
As he's trying to figure out what's in there. All right, carry on, I guess. You're the boss.
I mean, Sang's the boss, so it's not me.
He'll let you use one of his.
Are you guys like telling me you're doing any of this, or am I just sitting here like, did you find where they are? Or
Hey, Merlin, over.
yeah.
Sending you a map. I'm making a guy run it to you. I made a
Shannon, do you have
map.
anything that can receive images?
You are with Shannon, right?
Yep.
Yes. She'll say. Oh no, she'll say we only have audio communication between the teams.
Could I, with my electronics knowledge, rig up a way to send the data as an audio signal that they could then decode into the map? Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, I want to do that.
You would just need something displayed on. Now, all of you have like a PDA style thing. You know what I mean? Like all of you have a personal computing device on.
You just
something.
press Q
Fallout
and it
wrist
shows up on
thing.
your backpack.
Yeah, something. It can be whatever you guys want it to be. But yeah, so I will say that you can try to jury rig something to send that information.
Yes, I would like to.
Okay, to send it though, you are going to have to use Junker's Omni hook.
That's fine. I don't have one. I have to use somebody's.
All right. So
I just grab his wrist. Give me this.
I'm
so
like, excuse me.
Still not like sure what to picture when you say Omni Hook. Like, I don't really know what this thing
I don't
is.
either. Like, in my head,
I
Like,
I always
am I
picture
being I'm afraid
the
to ask right now at this
the wrist
point.
thing from Mass Effect, like their
Okay.
Omni tool,
see, in my head, this is really stupid. I picture
an actual
old-
hook.
No. I picture old portable telephones that are this big next to your
Yeah.
head, like just a big thing. You're like, "Hey, what's up?"
Talking
Okay,
into
yeah,
my
yeah.
Omni hook.
Because Omni hooks are crazy powerful. Their signal range is like you can transmit to space from an Omni hook. So
Omni tools are crazy powerful too. They let you be
That's true.
biotic and throw energy blasts.
they make blades out of hard light because
Yeah,
that means
'cause that's a
makes
thing.
sense. Yeah.
Well, if Gearhead's grabbing my wrist, I'll be like, "What is it? What are you doing?"
I'm looking for your Omni hook.
All right, well,
Why is it not here?
Hey, lady, you can just ask, and I'll
No.
give it to you.
Give it to me. Merlin's
Can I have
life
an isolation of
depends
that
on it.
recording later?
I'll say, all right, you know, chill out. Here it is, and I'll hand you
Okay.
a vague electronic object that you
May
decide.
or may
May
not
not
be
be a
small
1980s
or
phone.
big.
Yeah.
Indiscernible size.
Anything. Yeah. He hands you a fucking melon. So, because you have electronics improvisation, I'll let you try to jury rig something together for this.
Excellent.
Go ahead and see I'm gonna let you use that just to be able to roll this. So that's not gonna provide you any additional advantage unless you have something you want to pitch me that would give you advantage on this roll.
We're D&Ders, we're gonna say advantage insteed of accuracy, so
Yeah,
y'all
we
can
say
just
that a
get
lot.
used to it.
So
Yeah.
Yeah, I keep
so
forgetting
if you want
that as well.
if you want access to this roll
No.
and have anything.
I'll press my luck with a normal.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead.
Normal roll.
Roll it up.
Don't fail me, you son of a bitch. 10.
Oh,
Woohoo!
okay, that was close. Okay, so, Junker, you
It would
watch
hit
on
9,
nervously.
that's when the begging starts.
you
Be
watch
careful.
on
I did
nervously as he takes your Omni hook and he starts like fiddling with it, and a time or two, Gearhead, you cross a few things and just sparks, and you're like, whoa, well, okay, it's not that.
I'd just
And
say, ooh,
Junker's
that was
like,
almost as hot
"Be
as I
careful,
am.
That's the only one we have. Come on, man.
That's not true, actually.
Yeah, technically we
Wait
have
a
2.
second. Todd, you don't have the Omni hook.
No, I have one. Wait, don't I?
You gave
Did-
it to Cody because his system's malfunctioned.
Okay, so he already has it.
So
Yeah.
That's
I
right,
actually
that's
what
right,
I
that was
did
totally-
was I David Copperfield that shit, and I was like, give it to me, and you're like, here you go, and I put it into your hand magically
Yeah,
with
you're
my
like,
sleight of
give
hand.
it to me. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I forgot I gave it to you.
Yeah.
We all
Alright, so,
forgot 6 months ago.
Merlin, you are sent a burst audio text that just means nothing. Yeah, like the screeching of a fax machine from hell.
It's
And
just
yeah, you will just have to run that through a device of some sort to get the layout that Gearhead has obtained for you.
so since Gearhead knows systems and mechanics and electronics, she will tell you the steps necessary to decode this transmission.
Mhm.
And it's as follows. Press play.
While Gearhead and Merlin are cooperating on this, Junker, what are you doing with the glass wall that you
So-
can barely see into?
I'm going to like
Licking it like a spastic.
I'm gonna like motion
Smells
over
berries,
like
man.
Sang, and I'm gonna be like, "Hey, Sang, come over here." Is her name Sang or Sing? Sing.
So,
I think it's a
Sing
I
song?
forgot already.
It's Sang.
Sang. Yeah, his name is
Sang,
Sang
yeah.
Bertrand.
And it's a guy, not a girl.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah,
dude.
he
Okay.
uses he, him.
Okay. So I'm like, "Hey, Sang, come over here." No,
And
motion
Sang just
him
looks at you.
towards-
Fuck off.
Well, I mean,
Sang
maybe
comes
he does.
over. He has imagine him in basically like light riot gear. He has
Yeah.
like padded, almost like carapace armor on, and he has like the stun rifles that all of his team has. He comes up with one shoulder to the glass, and he like peers in for a second, and then looks back over to you. He's like, "Yeah, what's up?"
Something big in there, really big.
Something big,
Yeah?
glass.
Do you know what this what all this is? All these terminals and whatnot?
I'll look around and I'll say, well, let me take a look.
As you're doing this, he takes out a like a little mag light, and he starts shining it in to the big black room.
Okay.
Yeah, you're right. There's just like some big, looks like some sort of cylindrical object in there.
It's Megatron.
Is there like a
You're not
door
supposed to
by
tell.
the glass? Any obvious point of entry, or is it just like an observation?
From this room,
right?
it looks entirely observational.
I'll say maybe we should figure out a way to breach in there. But then again, we don't know what's inside, so that could be a little risky. While he's talking, he's going to go up to all the other like machinery that's in this room and just kind
Okay.
of like check it out. Maybe or do like a maintenance check to see if he understands what the purpose of it is.
Okay. Yeah, you've probably not ever. Actually, you tell me this. Has Junker ever even been on a ship this large that wasn't a space station?
No.
Because this is a
Honestly,
huge ship.
no.
So,
Yeah.
from your smuggling past, it was generally like small ships.
Small ships
right?
for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. So, you still have, some information about, starship maintenance and whatnot. So, if you're willing to unscrew some panels and look at, because remember, most of these terminals are turned off except the one Cody found. So if Junker
I
starts
found it.
unscrewing some side panels and looking through the circuitry and stuff, he might be able to figure out what some of these are supposed to do.
Okay.
That
give
is
it a go.
inherently dangerous because he can't interface with them normally. So I will have you roll a pilot skill check. I'm going to have you roll it with 1 difficulty, please.
Okay.
Loser.
He does. He
That
Ooh.
rolled
that
a
is
-4.
Almost the worst you could have rolled.
Yeah. Wow.
Oh my god. He rolled a 1
And then rolled
Minus
a
five.
-5. Yeah. Okay. So.
So
while
great
they're-
success, right? I know
Yeah,
exactly
I
what it
mean,
is.
If you fail that badly,
You're
wraps
more
around,
lost
right?
now than you were when you
Negative
didn't look
brings
at
it in up to like a 34, right?
Yeah, it brings it up to the past 20 segment. There's,
Yeah.
like they didn't program what below 0 was.
You look at it and then you forget why.
Yeah, you're like, why am I
Huh?
in this room?
Where am I?
Okay, so here's what happens, Junker. You junk the system. Whatever it once did,
You
it
broke
will
it.
not do that anymore, even if you were able to figure out what it did. You start going through these things, and you're like, oh, you know what? There is latent power in here. I bet if I just patch this back into the power buffer so I can turn the terminals on and figure out what they do, you do that, and it just fries the systems. You didn't do whatever power conversion was necessary for this size of ship, and the raw power from the ship's remaining energy fries the entire circuit board. It's a melted hunk of plastic at this point.
So
Thanks.
Junker's.
Additionally, because you rolled so poorly, I'm going to say that Gearhead, who still is at that terminal showing the power consumption, you notice now, all of a sudden the display is now saying there's only enough power for 3 more days left in the system.
I was gonna say 1, but I'm glad it's 3.
Yeah, 3 more days left.
So Junker's
uh,
gonna stand back and he's gonna be like, "Well, it's broken. It must have got destroyed in the crash. I don't know, but it's not
Just have an
working."
image of like that Andre meme where he like shooting that. Why did Gearhead do this?
Yeah, exactly.
It was coming straight at me. I had to put it down.
Yeah. And then, okay, so you guys are kind of in this area getting this done. Let's flash over to Merlin, operating with your team. So you've
Hey,
been getting transmissions.
I'm gonna go to the bathroom real quick while you do that. Sorry.
Okay.
I'll be right
Okay.
You should have went to the bathroom beforehand.
Okay,
Now we all
so
get to look at his ass. Oh, fuck. There's a door
you
there.
didn't turn the right way.
Damn
What a
it.
chip. Okay, so Merlin, you're with your team. We're gonna pick up from you getting the transmission from Cody. You're able to feed it in. It is going to take some time to convert it. Just a little loading bar shows up on your wrist terminal, and it's
Okay.
like, all right, that's at like 5%. It shouldn't take that long. Just as your team comes across an area that's a little bit different from the areas that you've been going through thus far. So you find yourself in a series of hallways with doors coming off at different directions. This area was hit very hard by the crash, and most of these areas are crushed or pinched off by bending metal. You're able to see an area where it opens up a little bit, but it'd be really hard to get in there. And then it looks like beyond this wrecked area, there is a series of interconnected rooms past there, but you're not sure what's over there yet.
Okay. How long ago does this crash?
That is something I don't think you guys have found the info about.
No, I'm like asking Shannon.
Okay, so this is in character. Okay. Shannon will look around at the crash and be like, I don't know, everything looks kind of brand new. I mean, other than the scorching and the bending and, the crash, doesn't look like it's been here that long. I mean, the outside looked bad, but that's what you get for sitting down in a debris field like this.
Well, we're here to pick people up. I mean, they can only survive so long after this crash. This isn't years ago, I'm assuming.
Oh, no, probably, I mean, they didn't tell me, but from what I come to understand, it's probably been a month or so.
Do I smell anything in the room?
Yeah, it's, okay, yeah, you smell two things. You smell, like, a little bit of burnt, like a little bit of a burnt smell, and ozone.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we gonna keep going?
I mean, do you want to just keep going down hallways while you wait for your download to complete, or did you want to investigate the area beyond?
We got into, like, one end of the ship, and we're kind of, like, moving down it, I'm assuming, right?
You guys came into the side of the ship.
In, like, the middle?
Yes, pretty
Okay.
much. And you like imagine like roots heading through the soil. Like, it goes all different directions, especially because you had to use some like makeshift this isn't supposed to connect with that, but the wall got blown off and there's no other direction to go, so I'm going to step through the wall, right? Like,
Right.
so you're kind of making your own paths at this point. So you're kind of like spider webbing through the ship.
What's the loading bar at?
By now it's like 10%.
Okay. I'll ask Shannon, do you want to keep going or do you want to wait?
Well, I'm going to ask you this, Jay. So you came to this area where you're in the hallways, and it looks like there's an area that's a bit different from the monotonous hallways you've seen thus far. Did you want to try and get past the debris to see what's back there, or do you want to continue searching down the hallways while you wait for your download to complete?
Yeah, I'll check it out. Why not?
So, like I said, it's like a semi-pinched off hallway. It looks like something explosive in the wall kind of like pushed the wall segment in a little bit too much, and there's some pipes like obstructing the way and stuff. If you squeeze really hard, you can probably like just squeeze through there, or if there's a way you can get stuff out of the way. How do you want to deal with this hazard?
Can I look down it?
Like look through the opening?
No, he means look down on it, like stupid hazard.
Yeah, it's
You're a
shade
freak. You're a
will get
freak!
you everywhere. Yeah.
Nice face hazard.
So yeah, it looks like past the obstruction, there is just an end of a hallway that has a door on it, and the door is ajar.
That
Inside,
can't be true. The door is
Yeah,
certainly a door. It's not a jar.
it looks like the Jay's just collecting himself. So Merlin
Puns.
sees almost like what looks like an office room back there that seems like that's almost like a suite that has other rooms coming off of it. And then as you look around the edges of the opening, like I said, there's pipes kind of crossing in and stuff. You will notice that there are some burns around the side, and that the opening, it's actually quite jagged, I will say.
Into like where I would need to squeeze to get to, or like
Yes.
further down.
Yeah, the way it's like coming into the hallway, it's like a bunch of like stuff sticking out at odd angles and stuff. You can like kind of snake through if you're agile enough, but you know, if you lose your balance, you might hit yourself in with a sharp pipe or something.
How wide is it? Wide enough for me to get through, but I'm like going like this, or
Wide enough to get through, but you'll be like sidling / ducking / like stepping over things to get through it.
okay. I am gonna take. I'm gonna holster the gun, grab a piece of thin metal that's around.
Okay.
I'm assuming there is one.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you
Okay.
can find debris.
Okay. I'm just gonna kind of like hold on to it and start sliding through, and then when I get to the jagged part, I want to like put the metal up and then like push against it so that I'm not.
Okay, so you
Having
want
to
to like
worry about it.
put it down against that and use it as kind of like an
Yeah.
additional handhold.
Yeah, and then
All right.
like move past it.
All right, yeah, go ahead and okay, so you are really good at
Nothing.
Like everything.
oh yeah, everything.
Literally
Obviously,
field
your,
everything.
Your charisma and political etiquette is what's going to get you through this. Because of the good idea,
It's
I'm going
not
to go
getting
ahead
Trump
and
through
give you
anything.
some accuracy on this. Go ahead and roll pilot check with accuracy.
That is a 2 + 2, and if
2 +
anything
2.
has taught me anything, that's 22.
That's very true.
That's
Yeah.
solid
I mean,
math right there.
Alannah
That's what
would
they taught
agree
me in
with
engineering school.
Alannah does agree with you.
So
Most
you
of
kind of you push down on the jagged edge to try and like get past, and then as you do, it because it's like two hard metallic surfaces on top of each other, it slips down just enough for you to like slide off, and you hurt yourself pretty bad. It's not enough to like injure you, but I am going to say that the impact that the metal makes and you against the wall, it does kind of collapse the area a little bit on top of you. Yeah, you're going to have to go ahead and take pilot damage here and erase one of your
Ooh.
traits.
Ouch.
My pick?
Yeah, you can choose. Now, as a reminder, your traits are mech reliant, which means you don't like mixing it up in combat outside your mech. Loyal, which self-explanatory. You're empathetic, and you're a leader. So you will have to cross off one of those for the rest of this mission.
Yeah, empathetic.
And once you've crossed off one of those, you can no longer activate them to give you accuracy for pilot checks.
Yep, lose empathy.
Okay, so you're just angry now. Fuck being empathetic to other people. You just got hurt.
I pull out some first aid Metagel and just grumble.
Yeah.
But I do have Metagel
Spike.
that I use on it.
Yeah, that's fine.
I knew I should have put it down even more.
Yeah. You can still try to get in there at this point, but it's just you lost a bit of progress trying to get past this stuff. Do you want to keep attempting?
Am I far away from it still, or?
No, you're like halfway through it still. Like you slipped and you hit yourself off the jagged end, and part of it like tried to collapse on you a little bit, but you can still like
Oh, yeah.
squeeze through the other end.
Yeah,
if you
I'll
want.
do it.
Okay. I'm going to go ahead and have you make another pilot check. No accuracy because it's gotten a little bit harder.
3.
That's the worst. That's the worst.
God.
So one of the things I really like about 1.6 is they have a new GM section.
It's really easy to kill your characters.
It's really
Twice. 2
easy
failed
to
rolls,
just
they're dead.
fucking
Yeah.
kill everyone. And then I've talked about this with like some GM friends in the past. It has a whole section that's kind of dedicated to this, but I think it makes a lot of sense. It's fail forward, which means like don't just block off options or say no because someone failed something. Make it more interesting than that. So what's interesting is, Jay, you make it. Hey, guess what, buddy? You did it. You got through. And it collapses behind you, cutting you off from the rest of your team.
Cutting you in half
the amount of
permanently.
times you said failed while you described this.
Yep.
Failed.
failed
Cut you in
a
half
lot.
permanently.
Yeah. Hey, man.
The good news is you're alive. The bad news is the collapse cut you in half.
Yeah. The bad news is not for long. Yeah. So you've accomplished your goal with repercussions.
Yeah.
At least you have that map.
Not
You
yet.
look at your wrist real quick. 35%.
Okay. Do they say anything on the other side or anything?
You hear some muffled like surprised sounds as part of the hallway collapses.
Well,
And
guess
then-
he's gone.
Well, then after a few seconds, you'll hear. Was it? I'm sorry, I'm still learning my new NPCs' names. You'll hear
Gross.
Shannon's voice call out from the other side of the wreckage. Hey, pilot, you back there?
JD?
Help! I'm disabled.
All right, JD, you good? You still okay?
Not dead.
Leg disabled.
Well, that's okay. Is there anything around back there? Can you like make your way around it? Is there any other exits?
I'm guessing no.
So now that you're on the other side of this wreckage, you look, and yeah, this hallway does terminate in like an office. That seems to be like an office suite that heads off in a couple of different directions. There is a large main area with a desk, decoration, and furniture consistent with what you might expect in the office of like a dignitary or a CEO. There's like display things in the back that have like little flags and a model spaceship and like a flag like hanging down the wall behind the chair and stuff like that. And then coming off of this room is a smaller personal bedroom that has a terminal, a closet, and then a door leading to a personal bathroom.
Is there anything on? No power.
You can go ahead and check some of the systems.
Yeah.
You check the terminal. Unlike the cargo area, it isn't just dead, not receiving power. It looks like it is off and not being like fed into the system. You could try to patch it into the system's power.
All right. Before I do that, I'm just gonna look around a little bit more.
All right.
Is there anything in any of the other rooms or anything?
Yeah, so if you examine the office, you're gonna look around and try to discover anything. Is there anything you have that would help you with this, or any trait or anything that you think would help you try to find something?
Just a light, just like a flashlight.
Okay.
But, I mean, other than that,
All right, so you're looking around this dark room. You're trying to
Yeah.
see what's here. You know what? I'm gonna go ahead and call upon your field of history.
okay.
Combined a little bit with diplomacy, because you were like a politician, right?
Yeah.
You've seen offices like this before.
Sure.
You've been to meetings in offices like this before. So what I'm gonna say is, like, you're looking around and you're like, people like this always have
Hide
something
things
hidden
in their
under the
desk.
Yep, exactly. So you open the drawer under the desk. It's just like a bunch of
And
like.
I
Yeah, it's
expect to find a hidden compartment with a bunch of alcohol in it.
Send
Don't
that
get too
over
far
my
ahead of
way.
me, Jay. So you open up this drawer and it's like stapler and fucking pens and
My
shit.
stapler.
That's all in the thing.
Is there a
You're like,
nice pen?
Yeah. You want a nice pen? You get a really nice pen. On the side of the pen, there is a little logo. Let me check something real quick. I need to check my notes.
It's okay, I'm writing down nice pen in my inventory.
Oh yeah, this pen's gonna have something on it. Okay, this nice pen is going to have an insignia of a lion with a mane, like around, like a very stylized lion on the pen.
Cool.
Yep. So you got a lion pen. And then you're like, this isn't the right drawer. So you slam that shut and you hit the bottom real hard, and then you hear something go pop, and a little other drawer opens up. You're going to find 3 things in here. You're going to find a half-drained, like half bottle of whiskey. Space whiskey. I don't know where they distill this. But,
Earth.
Yeah, maybe it's a
good.
Yeah, maybe it's a good one. Well, you can find out later. Actually, you're a politician. You know this is not a good one.
Nah.
This is swill. You find a flash drive, and you find a handgun.
Okay.
Oh, shit.
Yep.
You can use it to kill yourself since you can't get back to the
Since you're
group.
trapped in the ship. You can go ahead and add the handgun to your assets if you want to use it on this mission at any point.
Sure, I checked the ammo and everything. It's got it.
It's
It has one
normal.
bullet with your name on it.
This is
Weird.
this is one of those handguns that is built to still work in vacuum. It doesn't have like the powder, like it has the bullets themselves have their own propulsion built into them. So when you pull the trigger, it activates the bullet and it shoots out of the gun. So you can fire. This is you can add this to your assets as a high quality pistol.
Okay.
Yep. So what do? You're trapped in this room. You just found a score. You could drink yourself to death.
Nice.
I shrug and take a swig
Yeah. Okay.
and just throw it.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, this tastes like it's from Dagobah.
Yeah.
Oh wait, I don't want to put the flash drive in while it's loading. Where am I at?
You're probably like 70.
Okay. I'll come over to Shannon and say like, yeah, desk, office, room over here. I can try to get my way out if you guys want to go ahead. My map's going to be done pretty soon, but it's not going to be any help to you now unless we can dig me out.
Listen, I mean, we have explosives, but I mean, I would like to save those for a last resort. We don't know how stable the structure back there is. If things go wrong, we could cave the whole thing in on you.
I'll be fine for a while. If you want to just go ahead, I'll try to meet up with you guys.
All right. Well, here, and then you hear on the other side some like rustling from behind the wreckage, and then out from like a slight gap at the very top of the wreckage, a small, almost oval-shaped object kind of gets lobbed over the top of it.
I jump back away from it as quick as I can.
It lands on the ground. Click, 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 click.
And then it explodes.
Yeah, I was like, is this one of your explosives? What is this?
No, why would I throw it? I just said we weren't using it. It's one of our communicators, so you can keep in touch with us.
I'll pick it up.
Yeah.
And then it explodes.
Yeah. Poof. No witnesses. So yeah, that team's gonna disembark.
I'll go back in and try the terminal, try to patch it in. But before I do, I'm going to message Junker and Gearhead. Be like, hey, how do I patch in a terminal to power here?
You just press play.
I think Junker would have some insights on how not to do that.
Yeah, correct. Don't ask Junker. He ruined something earlier.
There isn't a play button.
I will give. Yeah, that was a joke.
Okay.
You know.
think
I
they're
will
all
give
broken.
you the correct information right now, and there it is.
All right, so we're gonna call this Gearhead walking you through it, which means I won't impose difficulty because this is not your bag, man.
Connect
you
the
can
red
do this
wire to the red wire.
Yeah, you can do this as just a straight up skill check.
Not
Alright.
that red wire.
Jesus Christ.
Wow.
You guys are trying to die. Before we started this recording, audience, I told them is like, well, depending on how fast you guys get through this, who knows? We might get through all the stuff I have planned.
Nope. We won't live long enough to see the first thing you have planned.
So here's what happens. You try to patch in the terminal to the power system, and you're kind of going over with Gearhead. He rolled a 1, by the way. I don't think I said out loud.
No, you didn't.
Okay. So you're trying to figure out, like, all right, so I just need to get this into the power system, see what happens. Let's go ahead. I'm going to fix this up. As you do, you try to restart the terminal. You think everything is set up right. And it is not set up right. In fact, you weren't even properly grounded when you were working with it. You're like, okay, and you feel something that worries you for a second. Your arms and your hair start to like
explode
tingle a little bit. And then all of a sudden, the entire room goes dark as you find yourself on the floor about 2 feet away from the terminal that is now just has little black smoke lines coming off the top of it. Yeah, you got shocked real bad by messing with power circuits. Go ahead and erase another trait, JD.
Alright, that'll be leader this time.
Man.
Leader. You're not leading anyone right now.
I just swear and then throw my communicator.
Yeah.
Fuck you guys.
Right.
I put it back in, just pissed.
And then we'll say that you get, by this point, by the time you wake back up, your
the mission's
download
over and
is
we left you
completed for
here.
the schematics.
Oh, good.
Yeah. Ah, great.
Yeah, but at least you know where you can't go.
Yeah.
And then lastly, I'm just gonna like lay on the floor and unceremoniously put my flash drive in there and just see what's on it.
All right. So this you just get. I'm really glad you didn't plug that into the terminal before you fucked it up, because if you had, I would have destroyed the flash drive.
Not dumb.
So despite all the failures, you got some information here. This is one of the things you could have found on the investigation of the ship. You find essentially a log. That is the captain's log of like what's been going on. You scan it quickly to see, what are the last few entries and what was going on here.
I stopped somewhere in the middle. I want to know something about. Yeah, I want to know something that happened to him in the middle. I want to know.
Something happened to him is like.
And then I died.
Yeah. So you're not sure what voice to read this in because you haven't
Morgan
met the
Freeman.
man, but it essentially is like, my assistant forgot to schedule my meeting for 2:30 today based on the Galactic Standard Time, and scheduled my meeting for 2:30 today shipboard time, and we were currently out of sync with Galactic Time, so they woke me up in the middle of my sleep cycle, and I was completely unprepared for my meeting.
Isn't that typical?
Which was a dentist appointment, by the way.
Yeah, it was.
Had to get a crown filled through
2:30?
space.
No.
I got it.
Okay.
That was pretty good, actually. I'll give you that.
All right.
So,
then I just keep going because I'm bored.
So what you determine is the prisoners on this ship are not as dangerous as the info you've been given would lead you to believe. The salvager Amelia, that was her name, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
I believe so.
Yeah. I should believe in myself more often.
Yeah.
I should.
So
Don't believe in yourself. Believe in me because I believe in you.
that sounds,
Drilled to the
sounds
sky.
redundant.
Sounds.
Amelia made it sound like these are like dangerous criminals, but what you're starting to realize is most of these are like political prisoners, like very like high value, like people who cause problems diplomatically, people who cause problems with like rebellious groups, or people who were dissenters in some way. That's the majority of the people on this ship who were imprisoned at this time.
I'm gonna relay this to the two others. Yeah, I don't. These guys aren't like, junker style criminals. These guys are actually high value criminals.
I'm not a dangerous criminal. I'm just a bit of an outlaw, is all.
Right.
Yeah.
And just keep that in mind. If your group gets a little out of hand, I don't think they need to go full force on these guys.
Yeah, Roger
I don't know
that.
if they know any better.
And then...
Oh, also I'm stuck behind a wall.
Wait, what?
I got shocked. Thanks, by the way, Gearhead.
Look, you did the wrong wire. Not my fault.
You don't... I did exactly what you said to do.
Yeah, and it was wrong. It's not my fault.
Hold on. You're stuck? Do you need us to help you?
I mean, I'll live. I'll try to get out of here on my own. I mean, I checked the other two rooms, right? The bathroom and the whatever.
So here's what happens. So you've been scanning the schematics that Gearhead got for you. Surprisingly, they're exactly what you need to get out of this room, because you realize the ducts that carry like power through this section are accessible if you take off one of the wall panels. So
so I can go directly to the source to where all the power that shocked me is, instead
Yeah,
of just
you could.
getting
You can
around
find
it by
your way
going to the
back there.
terminal. All right, cool.
So
good. This sounds good.
You know where the wall panel is that kind of like goes into the maintenance corridor, and fingers crossed, as long as that area isn't fucked up, you should be able to navigate through there and get
I'm
back
at half
into
health,
another
so I think
exit.
it's a good idea for me to go in there now.
Yeah. All right. So we'll pick back up with you, like sidling your way through the ducts later. But I want to jump back over to Gearhead and Junker to see what you guys are doing.
Yeah, I want to call over Gearhead. I'll be like, hey, Gearhead.
Huh?
Can I
What?
take a look? Can you not hear me? I'm standing right here. Hi.
Oh, sorry. I was talking to Merlin. What?
Oh, okay. It's funny because I didn't hear. I didn't see you speaking, so it didn't seem like. You
Oh
were talking to me.
yeah. You're okay.
Okay, well, whatever. I don't care. Do you have the schematics? I want to take a look at it, the map.
I just
Okay,
like...
you can take a look.
So I'll take it. What I want to see is this little room that has a big cylinder in it. Is there anything in the schematics that shows how we can get inside, or maybe like if it has some sort of like ventilation that is connected with the rest of the spaceship?
Yes.
Any routes?
There is a way into that room.
Okay.
There's specifically a couple of what you would think look almost like cooling ducts that head in there.
Okay. Are any of them connected to the room we're currently in?
No.
Okay. I'll show it to Gearhead, and I'll be like, I want to get into this room, and I'll point to the map, and I'm like, how do you think is the best way to approach? And I'll study the map with Gearhead.
All right, Gearhead.
So-
Do you want to? Our text chat says, Todd, or no. So okay, Jay. I mean, like 90% sure I know what that room is. LOL. Those of you who don't play RPGs with Jay, he is consistently the one who sees through my plots and plans as I set things
Very
up.
true.
I'm not saying anything. That's why I didn't say anything, because I don't want to metagame. But
Yeah.
I'm sitting here over sizzling in my room.
All right. Yeah. So Gearhead, you're gonna help out with. Are you gonna help out with this?
I guess.
I'm just
I
at
guess,
yeah.
I guess, the half-hearted.
I mean, I can't get rid of him, so sure.
Yeah. I mean, you could. You could
No,
engineer an
it'd be
exit.
messy.
Yeah, true. Okay, yeah. Between the two of you, there's no way you can fail this. This is like two spaceship mechanics working on spaceship mechanics, and you
spaceship.
already have the map, right? Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
You would have to like leave this room and make a right.
Throw the map into a black hole, and then...
Much like the maintenance corridor that Jay has found himself in, there is a floor panel that you would have to lift away and then crawl down into, and then you would have to rip some shielding off of the cooling duct and crawl through the cooling duct to end into that room.
Okay. So here's what I'm gonna do, says Junker. He takes a swig of his whiskey. He has a flask with him. It's like, I'm gonna go in there. I'm gonna remove the shielding, and I'm gonna take out my drone and send it in, and I'm gonna see what's inside.
Right, you had that drone.
Yeah. And he's like, this is a, usually I don't plan things out like this, so I'm feeling pretty proud of myself right now.
All right.
Usually I just run in, but that's what I'm gonna do, because I feel like whatever's in there, it's gotta be important.
Todd, yeah, you find the maintenance area, you find the cooling duct that runs underneath of it. It's just like a person-size tube with like wrapped padding around the outside of it, almost like insulation. Like you've seen like big industrial insulation. So you have to like tear some of that away, and then you will have to like make an opening in the cooling duct in order to get your drone in. How big is your drone?
It's like that big with two wheels on the
yay
side.
big. So it's a small.
It's your mech. You brought your mech in.
Yeah. It's probably like a little wider than my shoulders.
Okay, that's pretty big. Okay, it'll take you some time, but you can definitely get started on it. You have materials on you, I think, that'll let you get into it.
Mm-hmm.
Once you get a hole big enough, you're able to like pry it open and send your drone in. So, are you just flying that towards the direction of that room to see what it is?
Yeah, and then I'll turn like night vision mode on.
All right, so from the perspective of your drone, you're going down this long hallway, like duct thing. At the end, you get to like the almost like a nozzly output that seems to go into this room that you were trying to get into. And your drone can't quite fit past. You might be able to, like, not neatly. Like if you go at like full speed and try to like tilt it, you can probably jam it past. Like it's this close to fitting.
It's exactly what he's gonna do. He's gonna back it up, so it gets like a good
Is this
start.
like a flying
right?
drone, or is this like a...
It's a flying drone, yeah.
Okay.
It can fly up a half a mile away. He's gonna like back it up so it gets a good start, and he's gonna just like, full
right.
throttle.
Go ahead and make me a pilot check
Um,
for piloting your drone.
Sure. Could I argue that this is a reckless move, and reckless is one of my traits?
Yeah, that's what you use these traits for, by the
Yeah.
way. That was a good example of Todd calling upon his traits
Proud of
to
you,
try
buddy.
to give himself accuracy on there. Go ahead and roll this with accuracy.
All right. Let's see what we got. Ooh, pretty
Wow,
good. 23.
Nice. Okay, so he rolled 20, and then says Jay, the man who hasn't rolled a success yet.
I am
And-
succeeding in my own way, all right?
Yeah, you're getting there.
Taking the scenic route.
Yeah. So you rolled 20 plus 3. So anything in Lancer, still like the previous system. Anything over 20, that's a critical. So not you get your drone inside, and it's not broken.
Yes.
Yeah, because I was gonna break it.
Yes. I had a feeling that might have happened.
Yeah, so you get your drone in. It's not broken. It has that little, like, tiny floodlight on the front so its camera can try to get a good shot. You fly it forward, and you approach this cylindrical thing, and you start to strafe your drone around it. It's the reactor.
Called it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's that room. That's the reactor. The giant cylindrical object is the reactor for the ship, or
Okay.
one of them. You're not sure. A ship this size, you're not as familiar with. It could be one very efficient one or one of a few.
Yeah. I'm gonna head back to where everyone else is, and I'll say, hey, Gearhead, that room contains the reactor, or at least one of the reactors.
Well,
And
yeah, duh. How do you know? How do you expect this console to be on?
Well, I mean, I
You could have just
said-
asked.
Well, I mean, I was showing you the map, wasn't I? Why didn't you tell me then? if
You didn't
already
ask.
knew?
You just said, let's get to this room. You didn't say what's in it.
I'll ignore you, and I'll show Sang, the
Sang knows too.
the video feed.
Tell him, Sang.
I had no idea what was in that room.
He's lying to you to protect your feelings.
I hate you, so I'm trying to tell you outright.
So yeah, I guess proceed with caution. We probably don't want to. It doesn't look like it's on though, does it? If I check out the feed.
No, it's very not on.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. And you get this sinking feeling in your gut, like, man, if only I hadn't fried all those terminals, they probably would have, I don't know, operated the reactor or something.
Yeah,
Oh,
quite possible.
that's just
Yeah.
conjecture. Who knows? You know.
Yeah, who knows? Who knows really?
I know.
No one
Oh,
asked
right,
you,
the other
Gearhead.
person who knows. Yeah.
So I'll fly the drone around. Is there anything else of interest in the reactor room?
As you fly the drone around, you will see that it's a very undamaged room. You will see that there's, the reactor itself is in perfect condition. You imagine if there was a way to somehow restart this reactor, it would start providing power again.
Okay, I'm gonna send the drone back through the hole. Did I enlarge the hole when it went
I'm just
out?
gonna give it to you, buddy.
Okay. Yes.
Yeah,
okay.
it's
Good.
fine. Let it ride.
And send it back to where I am, and I'll retrieve the drone.
Alright.
And I'll
Send it
say,
back
all
to
right, well,
Will.i.am?
there's the reactor. What's next for you guys? Sang, you and your team.
Well, I mean, we're not here looking for the reactor. We were just gonna leave the ship. We're trying to find the people we're extracting.
Yeah, but if we could somehow turn this reactor on, we might get power to the ship, and that'll make things easier.
I mean,
It might
can you
also
do it?
make things more complicated.
Gearhead can do it. I'll just
I can
point
do
to Gearhead.
anything. By
I
the
mean,
way.
if you can get the power back on, we've crossed countless doors that are just locked because the power is off. If we can start opening the doors, it might be easier to get through.
Yeah, Gearhead's an old hand at this kind of stuff.
Yeah, let me
Right?
go over to the console you destroyed and see if I can salvage it.
I don't think that those consoles were for something else. I don't think it was related to the reactor.
So-
As you guys are having this discussion, you will notice. Okay, Jay, do you have the communicator that you were given? Are
both
you
of them.
using it actively currently?
One in each ear, I guess.
Okay, as long as you're actively using it. So
And I'm not using it; it's just in there. It's just sitting
it's
there.
there. You're receiving.
That's what she said.
But you guys specifically.
I don't know either, man.
Hey, Junkhead.
It's
I'm not
receiving.
using it. It's just in there.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Gearhead and Junker, you'll notice all the other people that are in the room with you all of a sudden go on alert and all check their earpieces at the same time. Jay, you actually hear this as it's being broadcast amongst them. Someone reports there's people active in here. I don't know where they came from. They ambushed us out of nowhere. We're missing Joe.
And no one like Joe anyway.
Hey. He was probably the best salvager here.
Yeah.
I'm
did you
the
try
best
to talk to
salvager
them?
here.
Yeah, you have full communications on it.
Did you try to talk to them?
Who?
No, I'm saying that in the earpiece.
Well, we were doing, we hit a couple locked doors. So
Did you shoot at them first?
No, we were doing some breach and clears. Couple locked doors we had to blow open to get further into the ship, and
Couldn't have
as
just
we were
waited
going
until we got the
through,
power
just
back on.
out of nowhere, he just got clanged right on the back of the head, and he got dragged off into some room. We can't open the door now, and he had all our explosives. We're trapped down here now.
It's probably better.
Wait. So, I can't hear any of this, but I assume Sang can.
Sang will it'll be a few seconds after the conversation, but Sang will be like, "Yeah, one of the other teams got ambushed by people in the hallways. It looks like they clobbered their explosives expert and dragged him away."
Junker looks
So-
surprised. Ambushed?
Yeah.
What Gearhead would like to know is, how does an unpowered locked door get opened so a teammate can get ambushed, dragged away, and then closed again? What's here that you're not telling us?
Well, I don't know.
Somebody knows.
It ain't me.
I'm gonna keep saying over the thing. Where are you?
Reactor room. Oh, not talking to me? Okay, bye. Over.
So the
Hey, useless reactor control room is where I am right now.
the team will say, "Oh, we're on some subdeck, something."
Is there power on at all?
I mean, no, but one of the doors opened for a minute.
Maybe they're on the edge of one of the power grids. Okay, do I see it on the map anywhere?
Yes.
Okay.
In fact, you cross-reference where they said they are with the map that Gearhead obtained for you, and indeed, based on the map layout, the area that's drawing power is very near the location they reported to you.
Okay. I just want to go on the record saying my failures did not affect the rest of the ship. That's all.
That's very true.
That's true.
Junker.
You don't know that. You blew something up.
Maybe other failures
That could have been
affected those
a
parts
really
of the chip.
important.
Yeah, he blew up the captain's terminal. Big deal.
Yeah.
You blew up the reactor control system.
All right, I'm gonna finish what I'm doing. Can I get out of here closer to where they are?
You can get out to the main part of the ship now.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna try to meet up with them, or
right.
if I can, get into where the power area is.
Okay. You will. I will ask you to do one or the other. They are splintering paths here. What is more important to Merlin?
Leg disabled.
The powered area.
So you would rather sneak in alone rather than rejoin the group. Okay, perfect. We can run that. Do you have a trait or a background field or a piece of gear or anything that would give you any help with your rolls?
I would say, being that I want to avoid combat as much as possible, I'd be pretty sneaky, being very careful.
Oh God, that's a stretch.
I don't know.
Stretch Armstrong over here.
Okay, let's see. So you've
I
checked
have
off
the map
leader
obviously leading me. Yeah, this is not my area of expertise.
Yeah, it ain't, buddy. It ain't. Go. Hey, you can't roll every one of these dice as a failure,
Look,
right?
the
You
next
fucking
time-
watch me.
The next time we have a formal dinner where you need to coerce somebody politically, you'll do great.
Yeah, you're gonna shine. You're gonna
Yeah.
be fucking the king.
But right
So go
now,
ahead.
you're the jester's jester. Like
Go ahead
lowest
and
of the low.
Just go ahead and make a roll. Just.
That's 16
Hey, that's good.
Oh,
I
yay.
didn't fail.
Woo!
that I know of.
Yeah, so you are able to. You're like, you just got out of the, like, maintenance hatchy thing, and you're like, and then you just immediately get back in the maintenance hatch thing because you're going to have to follow that to bypass the doors that are going to get you in there. What you are able to figure out through your sneaking and checking out the map that Gearhead got for you is that it basically leads to like the area that's drawing power also has an entry like a hatch you can use. So you can come up in that hatch.
Okay.
You make your way. You come up in the powered area. You're able to pop the hatch. You peek through. You try to make sure there's no one on the other side. You close the hatch behind you, and you find yourself in what appears to be like a small pantry filled with supplies. In fact, overfilled with supplies. It looks like people have added things to this pantry beyond the normal operational capacity of this pantry.
Right. How many people were on here again that we assumed? I'm going to say over the thing.
Well, who are you asking, your teammates or the squatties?
Just to both at once.
Okay. You guys,
See who
you
answers
guys hear him
first.
ask the question. Yeah.
I don't know.
Junker's like, I don't recall.
Hey, Sang, how many people are on this junk?
And then you get your answer from Sang at the same time that Jay gets his answer over the thing. They basically explained that they were just supposed to capture as many people as were left alive. They were told not to expect over like 50 to 100 people at most.
Cool.
Great. So
Still
that wildly
could be a
outnumbers
lot.
us.
All right. God, I hope I'm not wrong.
God, I hope I
I'm
get
going
it.
to start looking around for
All
people.
right, so you're gonna try and make your way out of this pantry.
Yeah.
You slip out of the pantry. You look around, and you realize very quickly, as soon as you start to peek out the pantry door, it is luck alone that prevented you from getting spotted, because this is the only area that does not have a person in it. And you think that's just because no one happened to be in the pantry at that point. You look out onto a hallway outside of this door. It is coming at last to the part of the ship the prisoners seem to have holed up in. You see that a vast majority of their number are in no condition to resist. They've taken up residence in a deck section with an infirmary on one end and a pantry on the other. That's the pantry you're in two different parts of a long hallway blockaded on both ends by makeshift barricades and watched by moderately uninjured prisoners. Down the length of the hallway, people lay against walls and stretched out on the ground with obvious signs of emergency tending. So you're just looking down this hallway of basically people who barely survived a spaceship crash.
Okay.
All of them are wearing prisoner jumpsuits.
Okay. They have guns or...
You will notice the people keeping guard. You will notice that some of them have some makeshift weaponry and like clubs and stuff like that. People at the two far ends that are like guarding the corners, they look like they have like stun batons and maybe like a small like taser gun. You will notice one guard who has a stun rifle exactly like the one you've been given.
Okay. I'm going to take my rifle.
Uh-huh.
And can I rig it so it'll either only fire for me or doesn't shoot at all?
You can break it easily.
Okay.
To make it so that it registers with you would require tech that I don't think you have on you.
That's fine.
Or jury rigging that your partners would
I'm
probably.
going to either break it or just take the ammo out of it, one of the two.
Yeah. So you can go ahead and basically just fuck it up. Like you like dislodge the battery essentially.
Okay. I'm going to hide the handgun on me, like...
The high quality pistol.
No.
Okay.
I'm going to put it in the thing I came out of.
The duct, yeah.
Yeah, I'm just
So
gonna
you're
put in
gonna
the duct
open
right
the
now.
panel, put it in there, and then close the panel.
Yep.
Okay.
And then I'm going to take an apple. Is there an apple?
Okay. Yeah,
Is
sure.
there
There's
an
an
apple?
apple.
Oh, you
no,
are
no,
in a pantry.
It's a
I'm gonna-
space apple. There's stems coming out of both ends of the apple.
The fuck is this shit?
Yeah.
Is it green?
No, purple.
It is. Yeah, it's purple.
Space apple.
All right.
Space apple.
Can take it.
Spapple.
Okay, and then I'm
Not
just gonna.
Snapple.
I'm going to walk out like I belong here.
Ooh. There's that stealth you wanted to do last time.
That was
Okay.
my plan. Darn it! I was thinking of doing that, but I was
So-
gonna find a prisoner's uniform first.
I really feel like I am compelled to at least give you the opportunity to succeed here. So let me see. Yeah, go ahead and make this roll with. Oh man, make it with 2 difficulty, please.
Oh.
Come on. Really?
You're not wearing a prisoner jumpsuit.
I know.
You're armed with something that only one other person has, and they all know each other. So.
Yeah.
I hope you get a
Yeah.
20.
I mean, I know all of that.
Yep. Okay, go for it, buddy. I'm gonna let you try it. If you succeed, holy shit.
Oh my
Okay.
god! I rolled
Wow.
a 16 plus 4. Well, actually,
Yeah.
minus 4. But whatever.
Minus
Yeah.
4.
So yeah, 16 minus 4 is still enough for it to work. You walk out of the
Walk about-
pantry.
Hey.
You have an apple. Yeah, the people on the floor and up against the walls are in no condition to care about you. You imagine they're being fed and kept alive, but
I'm gonna.
Yeah.
If they don't affect me right now, I'm gonna walk up to them and start using the Medigel on some of them.
it looks like they've already been patched up fairly well, like
Okay.
what a first aid Medigel would do
Oh,
for
okay.
someone.
Then I know this.
But like lasting, like that wouldn't cure lasting injuries. They would need to be actually seen for that.
Okay.
So they've been field triaged already.
Okay.
And then, yeah, as you walk through the hall, you do hear loud talking coming from the infirmary.
Okay. Yeah, I'm just gonna keep walking towards the infirmary then.
As
Actually,
you
no.
get closer-
I'll come up to someone and like carefully like get his attention, and be like, "Hey, who's in charge here?"
Oh, that's the worst thing you could say.
Random person? Okay, fuck. So, yes, you find like a half knocked out dude who's like leaned up against the wall, who just has like a blanket, like a blanket that's obviously been torn off of a cot or something, just wrapped up on one arm, holding his arm in a sling, and he just looks up at you. He's like, "In charge? I mean, you mean who's on duty right now? I think that's, and let me find a name real quick. I mean, I don't think Paige ever sleeps, but probably, I think Alto's up.
Thanks, man. Yeah. All right, I'm just gonna keep walking then.
So the loud noises you hear coming from the infirmary, you hear, it sounds like a masculine and a feminine voice arguing about something, with a third person in the room who also has a masculine voice. There is, as you get closer, it kind of resolves into making sense. The gist of the conversation is the third voice is talking about people are here. We weren't expecting these people to show up. They're a threat. We need to take them out. We need to take their stuff. And then the first masculine voice and the feminine voice are arguing with this person. Is like, no, we just need to wait. We need to wait. People are hurt here. We can't fight these people. And that seems to be the gist of the conversation they're having.
What does the
Okay.
third person say?
I'm just gonna knock a little bit and then just open the door.
God. Okay.
What?
God damn.
This is
And then you
so
just pop your head in, Thanos did nothing wrong, and then leave.
Yeah. Just be like, "Hey."
Hey, neighbor.
So you see three people in this room. You see a feminine person and two masculine people who are standing around this like surgical apparatus that looks kind of like a self-tending like heel bot thing.
So, as this is happening, I'm gonna like take a step in and then just toss my gun down on the side of the door there.
Which
Just
you
as
do
a
this-
note.
What are
You
you
do this.
doing?
Yeah, you do that faster than one of them even does something. So as soon as you step in, one of the three people that you were hearing arguing has a gun that just, as soon as you enter the door, pulls up and trains on you as you're throwing your gun to the side. The other two are further into the room. It looks like they were the two who were arguing with this third person. And you hear this older man in the room say, Mark, no, just no violence, no violence. So the older man, standing off to the side, has a slender frame and a dark complexion.
So he's Slender Man. Great.
Yeah. Oh, shit, you guys are fucked. He's balding on top, and what hair he has left circles his head in white. He's clean-shaven, with the telltale signs of aging leaving wrinkles on his forehead and at the corner of his eyes. He's wearing a prisoner's uniform, with tear marks at the bottom of one of his two pant legs, leaving one side noticeably shorter than the other. There is also a dark-complected woman in the room, very young, who also in a prisoner's uniform. She is actually like in the process with handling the medical machinery as you walked in. And she just kind of looked up. She hasn't spoken yet. And the third person, who was referred to as Mark, who drew the weapon on you, he's
Mark.
barely visible beneath what looks like makeshift armor that's like a combination of like
Deck plating and like
yeah, exactly.
Ask him how his sex life is.
Hey, Mark.
I did not hit her. I did not.
What a story, Mark.
Do I recognize, especially the old man? I'm guessing is my best bet. History and politics would be things I would call on.
You do. Immediately. I was wondering if you were the person who was going to meet this person, because you just instantly have some information on this guy. You recognize him. He's a little bit older than you remember seeing him, the last picture of him, because he's not been in the political limelight for quite some time now. The older man is Alto Sonnet. He is a political prisoner, obviously, in the ship. He comes from a system that's core words a little bit in the galaxy.
So much closer than mine. 'Cause mine's out there.
You're further out on the arm, then? Yeah. So your core words a little bit. His sector, this is why you're familiar with him, was still part of the Manticore non-compete sector. After his government formed some treaties with Manticorp, he fell off the political radar for a while, and rumor has it that he had taken to organization of anti-Manticorp radicals. Before he left the political sector, he was known to have a number of political opponents.
Okay. Alto. Man, I never thought I'd see you here. Hi, you may not know me. I'm JD.
I'm sorry, I don't... JD, okay.
Yeah, I come from one of the
Land down
armed worlds,
under.
but I remember your escapades out in towards the core world. I guess, well, rumor has it rebellious Manticore activity might have caught up with you then.
He steps forward towards you a little bit to like kind of talk to you, very unafraid. The Mark is still trained the weapon on you.
I
like,
ignore
unmoving.
him completely.
Yeah. Alto kind of walks up and he goes, "How did you get in here?"
I come from, I'm just going to name drop my world because I haven't before, Lyshare. I was in the political game myself there for quite some time when I got recruited. I'm not gonna lie, the recruiting there to the pilot program is mostly for my own selfish political gains, but here I am. I seemed to me that you are all in a pretty bad off situation here.
Yes, the crash left a large number of us injured and infirm.
You won't survive here. You have some time. I don't know how long the reactors are off, and
You could ask.
I don't know how. I'm not interrupting right now.
Someone has that info.
But it's not probably going to be long.
It's about 3
and,
days over.
Unless you have some very good mechanical engineers here, this world is very harsh.
There's giant sandworms. Tell 'em about the sandworms.
He looks surreptitiously to Mark, and Mark kind of like side eyes him a little bit, like kind of a like don't do it kind of look to Alto, and then Alto looks back to you and he goes, "Listen, we're all just a bunch of prisoners here. We're of no worth to anyone. Just leave us here. It's better than going back."
You think it's better to die here? You speak for everyone in that.
You get the sense that something's not being said in this room as they're all awkwardly quiet.
You have a way off?
Can I just say something real quick? I feel like it's been a long time, and at some point, Junker would have checked in with Merlin. So I don't know when that would be, but he would like
It's
check
right
in on the radio.
about
He'd be
now.
like, "Hey Merlin, what's your situation right now?"
Oh, I'm talking with the prisoners.
Hey, no communication.
And meanwhile, Junker's like,
we know where you are. I got
say
you.
again.
What do you want me to tell
I'm not
them?
sure I caught that.
Mark
And
says,
then
he,
I will
like,
say, he obviously said he's with the prisoners, idiot. Let's go find him.
Mark will say to the side to Alto, is like, we can't let him give away our state. They'll be even more aggressive if they know we can't fight back.
Look,
So,
I
okay.
have a
Saying
connection to
Gearhead.
them, and I have enough sway that I could maybe adjust that aggressiveness. First of all, we could get your injured out and get them taken care of. Second of all, if you want to stay and fight, I'll walk out. But at least give us your injured.
They all kinda
Anyone
like,
else that wants to leave, you're welcome to come with me.
They all kind of look around at each other.
As
and
they do that, I'm
say,
like, I'm offering you a chance to live here. You will die on this planet eventually.
Alto looks between the other two. He shakes his head. You notice the woman who's been working with the medical stuff, like, puts her hand on his shoulder and just like nods at him, and he says, "Thank you for trying to help us."
It's a very long pause for that simple explanation.
You are here in the aftermath of something, and maybe the beginning of something else.
We were told you were all very dangerous, high-valued criminals. I was told specifically that, well, given the impression at least, that you would all be much more dangerous than you are. No offense, but one gun, a stun gun, and some clubs aren't going to stop the people that are here.
The woman who's been working on the stuff just kind of like laughs to herself a little bit, and she'll say, "We are very dangerous to them. They care more about us than they would a bunch of dangerous criminals. They would have let us all die on this rock if that's who we were. They're afraid of what we'll say if we leave, if we get out of here."
And what's that? I'm clearly an open-minded individual. I trusted that you wouldn't kill me.
Alto breaks in at this point. He goes, You said it yourself. You know I'm working with anti-manticore groups. I have a way off. I was hoping they'd be here before you were.
I don't know what this group has, but there is some firepower that they'd have to get through.
The plan was for them to be here first, and it looks like that's not what happened.
No, it's not.
The whole room is kind of like in like kind of a depressed down kind of state.
Are all of you here for the same reason?
The woman will say, "I'm Paige. I used to work for Manticore. I'm a surgeon, and I worked with some of their military outfits, but I think my idealism was a little too much for them, and they decided to lock me away for it before I talked to someone who could say the wrong thing to someone else."
I'm very curious. I'm gonna look over at what's with the jock.
Hi, Mark.
Oh, hi, Mark.
Drink delivered. Thank you.
That looks good.
That's very good.
What's with the meathead?
Mark will say, "Hey, someone has to organize revolutionary groups, and they're not all political."
Fair enough. Okay, so
Junker's
I'm a
still
good-
trying to get through, by the way. He's
Yeah,
a little
I-
unnerved by the last thing he
at
heard.
some point I just would have like taken the headset out and just let him like, okay, no, okay, put it away.
Yeah.
I am, and I'm sure Alto, you probably see this maybe more than the others, an opportunity for you then, you know.
What?
Why should you go free? Why should I help you?
He looks down, he looks sad, and then he looks up at you, and just in despite of himself, he smiles a little bit, and he's like, "What would you say if I just told you it was the right thing to do?"
You've convinced me.
I don't know. I don't like the fact that we were lied to on this mission. I don't like the fact that there's
not
still
the
a
first
gun being
time.
pointed at me. And I don't like the fact that...
A page comes out from behind the medical device, and she comes up next to Mark, and she just kind of puts her hand on the gun and just lowers his gun. And he just kind of, he's standing there, he's not relaxed, he's at attention with his gun, ready to draw it, but he's not pointing it at you anymore.
I don't like the fact that you have captured one of the guys that was blowing up stupidly doors on the way here.
Mark will say, "Well, they were about to break in, they had weapons, we had the advantage of having control of the powered door,
I know,
so we
I
thought
know.
we would take the guy who could get in."
I figured exactly what happened as soon as I heard, but it doesn't change the fact that you have a prisoner right now.
Yeah.
And if you wouldn't have done that and somehow hid further, then they wouldn't know you're here. But now they know.
Well, they were rooms away from finding us. It wouldn't have bought us much time.
Maybe not. Well,
Alto will say, "Listen, just say we're dead. Set off an explosion. Just walk away. Just..."
could easily. I could
Any-
lie to them. But I need you to tell me why.
Why? What? Why? Why we're doing this? Why to free? I don't know what you're asking.
You said it's the right thing to do.
Who do you
In
work
history, every single side of every single war said that their side was the right thing to do.
Yeah, man, that Hitler guy had a point.
He thought he was the right thing to do.
He thought getting rid of.
What was your planet called again, Jay?
Lyshare.
Lyshare. Does it chafe under the yoke of Manticore?
It's an outside world. I haven't spoke to them with some time, but that's part of the reason I've joined. We're in Manticore, right? Like that's.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you guys are on the edge of Manticorp non-compete space.
Yeah.
I'll say you joined them in an attempt to advance your political goals, you said, and yeah, I can see how that would work, and I don't know how long or how much they've asked of your world, but mine was prosperous, cursed in a way with resources and human capital, meaning that we were a gem to our corporate overlords. They used us like a resource, and I don't know if your world or system is different in some way. I hear that some slightly less influential worlds get left to their own devices, but after a few generations of being part of Manticorp, we saw our control of our own lives slipping away in an aggressive attempt to maximize efficiency, to wring every last ounce of use we had out for Manticorp. And I had the bad sense of speaking out against it, of pushing pro-independence legislature, and developed every political opponent that was on the take hated me instantly. And a little too much of that, and I saw where the winds were taking it, and if I'd have stayed longer, they would have just locked me up sooner.
And you know what you're asking of me, too. If I save you, if you get away, and anyone found out, that would be career suicide for me.
Yes. And it could be an opportunity. We need people like you, trained people. The people we have working with us are just the people who feel the yoke, the people who need to be free of this system, but we don't have the kind of training or resources you have. If someone like you could help us.
Why? I understand why you're here, but and I understand why you're here, pointing at Mark. But you had information. What did you know that was so important?
Paige will say, "Oh, it's a little gruesome, so I don't like talking about it. But methods in the field. During my postings, I worked at a couple different combat sites, and my unit was being pulled out of an active combat zone, and I had questioned my superior, who wanted me to leave my posting, which I was unwilling to do because the people under my care was still injured and fighting. I wanted to be there to help them. So I went against orders, and I stayed to help the people who needed it. And they started the bombing then on their own people, including me. And for the longest time, they didn't know I had survived until they caught me.
What about the others in the hallway? Are they all part of your group?
Ask them their own stories. I don't.
No, are they all part of your group, though?
Some. Some just had the happenstance of being on the same ship as us.
Alright. Wait here.
Merlin, come in.
I'm gonna like...
Okay.
I'm just gonna walk away to a
Merlin.
privater area for a second. And then get the other two, not the other group on the radio. Is there a way I can make sure it's secure?
Yeah. I'm not gonna screw you like that. Yeah. Okay.
If I can make it secure somehow, I will, or whatever. But just be like, okay, we might have an issue here, guys. I'm gonna explain the situation and their stories and everything here. There's no way for me to. I mean, I can read people pretty well. I'd be able to tell if they were really lying. They believe what they are.
You know what?
Are saying, right?
Because this is going to determine kind of your reaction to those people, how well you could read the room. I'm going to have you roll a pilot check with 2 accuracy, because you talked to them for a long time. You got to know them really well.
It's an 18 plus 5.
Critical. You will learn an extra bit of information about each of them then. Mark isn't...
Oh, he's not hiding his feelings.
No, he's also not as much of a meathead as you originally assessed him at. He has a lot of trigger discipline, and like he knows who he's there to protect, and you're not one of them.
Yeah.
Right? As he listens to the conversation, he's not there thoughtlessly.
Yeah.
But he didn't say a lot, so it's hard to read what his intentions are. Paige is an idealist. Right, she disobeyed orders because she thought she was going to be a hero and save some people, and got bombed by friendly fire, essentially. Alto, he's a true believer. He 100% believes that he's doing what he has to do. Like, he didn't have an option. That's what you glean off of the 3 of them.
Okay. I'm gonna do this in the pantry because it's still empty, I'm guessing.
Yeah, they'll let you that, especially because you left your gun there that you threw on the ground, and they don't know your deception yet, so you can do whatever you want.
I'm gonna grab my gun too and hide it on me now.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm gonna explain all of this and what I've heard to you guys so far. Then no, I don't like being lied to, and I don't really feel like they should be taken off to what is more than likely going to be an execution.
So Junker's gonna walk a ways away from the scavenging team, and he's gonna like kind of whisper into his communicator, and he's like, "Merlin, are you crazy? We
Yes.
are way out of scope here. This is not our mission."
Technically, our mission was already fulfilled when we escorted them through. Now I'm
know.
just doing extracurriculars.
You could jeopardize everything. Do you realize I've been a fugitive my whole life? I don't want to go back to that.
And all of a sudden, over the radio, you hear. I don't care what we do. As long as we do it together,
He's like,
we are a team.
Listen, man. Listen,
Alannah,
man.
are you
I don't know
lying
these people. This isn't our problem. Let's just leave
Junker,
them.
you broke the ship. You don't get a say.
Listen,
I don't
I
want to be a
have
part
a
of
world
this.
that I need to watch out for. And if what Alto says is true and he believes it, and he's not a foolish man, then in the future, my world could fall into the same thing that happened to his. I don't know that this is the wrong thing to do. Look, my idea is that I take anyone that isn't a part of their rebellion. I'm assuming hopefully most of them are injured. If not, then we'll knock them out or whatever.
These people
we'll
are,
get them out
these
and
peop-
then stage something for the rest.
These people are rebelling against our employers. Why are we
I've never
helping
really
them?
had any deep love for Manticore. Have you?
I don't have any deep love, but I don't have any deep love for these people either. I'm just doing a job, man.
Junker's never loved
Let's
anything
not
in his
let's
life.
not make it complicated. Let's just go in, get out.
Except
get paid.
his truck that he used to haul stolen goods in. Linda. R.I.P. Linda.
She's a good one,
She was a good one.
but he's like.
All right, what
let's-
do you suggest then?
I suggest we leave. Let's not get involved. This isn't our problem. This isn't our issue.
All right, I'm still gonna ask them to give me the other prisoners and try to get
Hey,
out with the guy they.
All right, Merlin, you do what you need to do. I don't know about it. All right, I'm not jeopardizing my future here.
Not jeopardizing speaking.
Huh?
You just
cut out
broke
there.
up for a second. Yeah.
You're not jeopardizing the mission, I think you said.
Oh yeah, he said you do what you need to do. I'm not jeopardizing my future here. I don't know what you're doing.
Look, I can pretty much talk my way out of anything because I'm probably the most attractive person you've ever seen. So it's just natural for me. So I say, and as the de facto not leader of this group, because that's Merlin, let's just pretend none of these people exist. Say they're all dead, and we'll come back later, and we'll bring them out of here.
Again, with all this extra stuff, we don't need to do that. Let's just go home.
Well, look.
Junker, they're gonna get executed.
Hey,
It's-
I mean,
You are putting
the
these people to death.
galaxy's a cruel place, man. I don't know what to tell you. We can't save everyone. It's not our job.
Oh man, this is where we fundamentally disagree.
Hey, I'm not saying my heart doesn't go out to these people. It's just that what are we gonna do? We're gonna save them, and then we're get ourselves executed. And how does that?
Look.
help anything?
If we save, this dude seems like he's probably a higher up in this rebellion. If we return this man, maybe we'll make. I'm not saying we're not going to get anything out of it. Maybe we can ask for some compensation out of this.
Look,
Okay.
Alannah's
okay,
right. I wasn't
well,
saying it, but yes, there is political.
There's gain
benefits
to be
having
had
people
here.
owe you.
Exactly.
Okay, Junker sighs, gives a long sigh, and he's like, "All right."
Because
if you guys
Gearhead's
both
gonna
wanna
say,
do this,
I know how much you like material possessions.
yeah,
You could
well,
get something like a
not enough
broken
to-
console.
not enough to get myself thrown in jail.
Also,
again,
Listen,
I want to
if
point out
this
that
goes
I'm saying
south-
this not in front of Sang.
Yeah, you're just talking right in front of her.
yeah, I moved away
Sounds
from
like
it.
Listen, I'll tell you what, Junker. If this falls south, I'll take the fall on it, okay?
Nah, man. If you guys are both down for it, I'm in too. I don't like it, but hey, it'll be interesting
Listen,
at least.
I'm not saying we join their rebellion or go off and do this. I'm just saying we let some people that have some feelings, strong feelings, that happen to go against our employer, let them go. They didn't hurt anyone that I know
Alright.
of.
All right. Can I do anything? What do you need me to do? I'll help.
Just
We're in this as a team, so.
stay ready for right now. I gotta go figure this out.
All right.
So
keep
check
me
the gun
posted.
again.
okay.
Then I'll head back out to them.
So
Here's. Okay.
Jay, as you leave the pantry, intent on heading back down to the infirmary to deal with Alto and Paige and Mark, who are there waiting for you. At the same time, a large explosion shakes the hallway you're in. As you turn, you will see at the other end of the hallway from where you are, back down towards where Alto and Paige are, that barricade just exploded. The guy who was guarding it, the moderately injured guy there who had like a stun rifle, just got blown off of his ass and down the hallway. And you see the salvager team that you were with when you first entered, being led by Shannon Gross, basically sweeping and clearing this area as they rush the room with their stun guns and basically start securing the area.
Oh, shit.
What's Sang doing?
Quickly, hold on. Before you ask that, I am going to make an improvised EMP that will disable all communications from these people in our room.
Okay.
Did we not hear anything on, or did I not hear anything on my radio?
No, they were radio silent.
Okay.
Yep.
This is why I'm going to do this before
So-
Sang gets word of it.
Yeah. So, Cody, I will let you do it at a cost.
Yes, that's fine.
You will, if to make that improvised EMP, you will have to destroy the last working console in this room.
That's fine. We're not using it.
What's Sang and their team doing? Because surely
Sang
you
and their
can't just
team
do
is
this
still
in
like,
front of them.
still kind of like looking around and like posted guards at the entrances to this room and the reactor panel that you opened up.
Can I distract
yeah.
them while Gearhead's working on this so they don't?
Well, I'm gonna say to Sang, I'm gonna be like, I think I can still extrapolate some more data
how
from
they
this.
know I left my mic open so they could hear.
I'm gonna extrapolate data from this to see if we can pinpoint exactly where the other party members are using the map.
Hold on.
That gives me an excuse to walk over there.
You left your mic open so
We
what?
could
You guys
hear what
heard
was
the
going on.
explosion and you know what's
Oh,
going
okay,
on.
gotcha. Yeah.
Assuming you guys would figure it out real quick.
I'm gonna say, go ahead and roll with 2 accuracy. You've already interfaced with this terminal quite a bit, and Junker's distracting them. So
22.
Oh, another crit. Okay, so you just walk over. You rolled a 17
And a
plus
5.
an accuracy of 5. Brings you up to 22. You walk over to the terminal, and before they even get wind of anyone contacting over the thing, you're there. You're able to set this off before anything. You're like, and you acted up real good. You walk over and you're like,
Yeah, I do. Compulsive
Oh.
liar, baby.
something's wrong, and then just all the electronics in the room goes dead. But that includes your communicators as well.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
like, the communicator you guys were using to communicate with Merlin, that goes dead.
Risk we had to take.
Yeah, the entire team you're with, all of their shit dies, like,
Is it
immediately.
like dark in here?
It's not bright.
It is immediately pitch black because all of the, like, suit-mounted lights everyone had immediately blink off. And you're just sitting quietly in the darkness for a while, and then all of a sudden you hear a as someone like pulls out one of those like
Glow stick.
Yeah, it's one of those flares where you tear the thing off the top and it just starts like flaring out the top,
right.
and he's using it like a torch to like look around. So now you're in the same room. It's just cast in this like weird like flickering red light coming off the top of this emergency torch. What was that?
I'm going to like immediately hide, by the way, and then go on my thing. And go, yeah, I need your guys' help.
We don't hear that, do we?
I'm going to assume.
Okay.
But we know you're in
Cool.
trouble because we
Yeah,
heard
we know. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
The line is silent,
Dead.
Merlin. You get no response.
So I'm gonna find Gearhead in the dark, and like whisper, we need to get to Merlin now.
I
He's
agree.
in trouble.
So
Should we-
who asked what was that? Was that Sang?
That was Sang. He's the one who lit his torch.
So I'm going to.
If you're gonna do something, I'm gonna hold you back.
No. I'm just gonna tell him what happened. Like,
okay.
in the attempt to add a locator to this, system must not responded correctly, and it looks like a shortwave EMP went off.
Okay.
Hey, I
don't
think
know.
we could.
He buys it.
Hey,
And,
Gearhead, I think we can fix this if we check the maintenance hatch in the other room.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Let's work on this. I think we could get the power back up real soon.
All right.
Wink,
And then
wink.
as Junker and Gearhead slip away from their escort, to head off to attempt to assist Merlin.
And at this
And
point,
Merlin hides to try and keep himself unseen by the group he was previously with. I think we're going to go ahead and call the
Yes.
episode there, so we can pick up next time and see where this series of events
Ooh,
leads.
cliffhanger.
I like
Yeah,
it.
this was a good one. It led to a cool place. So, there was no mech combat this time. I didn't know how long this one was going to take to get through the exploring the ship segment, but don't worry. Lancers about
Where's-
mechs, we'll get around to it.
Let
Still
this be a
not
lesson
done
to
exploring
you.
the ship?
If you're in a position where you can't do anything, put yourself in a position where you can do something.
Yeah.
So yeah, thanks for watching. Just make sure to like, subscribe to the video. If
Tell your friends.
if there's something cool you liked, tell us about it. Say if there's something you want to see about the series. Leave a comment. Tell us what's going on. The more information we get, the more we can
Tailor the
adjust.
show to what you want
Yeah,
to see.
exactly. The more we can kind of make
can I-
this a cool thing.
Can I leave a comment where we just replace Todd with the cow?
Yeah.
Yeah, what we need though is we need one of those masks that's just like a full head, like it's just the cow face,
Yeah.
Moo.
where his head should be, or it should just be the cow is a helmet, so it's just like neck and then full cow.
I'd buy one of those.
Yeah.
Yeah, like not just the face, but the
No,
entire
just
cow
the cow,
body.
yeah.
I'd buy a
Cows and
cow,
stuff
is
like-
what I heard Todd just say.
Yeah.
I'd buy a
And
cow.
on that nonsense, I'm gonna say we'll see everyone next time.